Hey guys, so I took a little bit of a break from posting content, but I couldn't help myself with this story. I just had to talk about it, mainly because it's coming from the UK. So I just thought, why did I say that like that? Thought I'd bring that to you guys, mainly because my audience is mainly Americans. How many times am I gonna say mainly? Mainly because I think mainly my audience is mainly American, so I mainly talk about American YouTubers, but today I thought I'd bring a British little story for you guys. It's actually making rounds everywhere now. Like I saw British people talking about it, I saw American people talking about it, left-wing people talking about it, right-wing people. It's like, you know, one of those stories that just like transcends everything. Like everyone's just talking about it. And for some reason, everyone can agree on that like one thing. There's a lot of videos and clips for you guys to watch mainly, so I'm not gonna like, you know, try and describe them too much. I want you guys to watch so that you get the full ambiance of what is going on. But subscribe with the bell icon for engagement. Let's just get into it. Today we're talking about a YouTuber, an influencer, a social media clout goblin is probably the best way to describe it, called Mizzy. That's his like online name. He actually mainly did TikTok from what I'm gathering, and he claims that he's been on social media and like doing social media to like a semi like full-time extent since he was 8 years old. And I just hope that this is an advertisement for why you shouldn't let your kids have social media too young. Don't give your kids phones. Don't give your kids social media. Don't let your kids become clout goblins. I literally can't speak today. Clout goblins. If you, like, I just hope that this is, first of all, this is birth control for me. Like, every time I see someone behave like that, I'm like, ooh, I cannot go through 9 months of pregnancy and labor and then 18 or so years of raising a human being for them to end up like that. So I just birth control immediately. I'm like, fantastic. Second of all, it is just an ad for anti-social media. Like, do not give your kids social media. The ages for signing up for social media are what they are on purpose, and I think you should stick to them. So if you have kids right now, please don't give them social media because 8's ridiculous. Anyway, his whole idea of gaining clout on the internet is through controversy. Like, it's always just doing something that isn't productive to society, but it gets eyes, it gets attention, and that's exactly what I'm giving him right now. So falling into the trap, but I just needed to talk about it. Anyway, he used to take part in, I'm gonna bring you guys in on some like British culture. There used to be these videos on mainly YouTube, because that's kind of what was the only social media platform for video content back in the day. But people would go to this like one shopping center in the UK. It's Westfield in Stratford. It's like the biggest one we have in London, and they would stand in front of it at all hours of the day. People would have their camera set up and they would do like almost like the public interview thing concept. That's kind of like how it started in the UK, was through that. And anyone and everyone who wanted to be someone, except for me, I never did it. And I'm so happy, because if I saw my face on those videos now, I'd be so humiliated. I'm glad I was never allowed, and like that just wasn't part of my lifestyle. Everyone would get dressed up on the weekend in your Sunday best and go all the way to Westfield, just go around and do all these like interviews and try and be in these YouTube videos because they would get a lot of views. I can't imagine they were monetized, and I can't imagine the CPM was great. So they clearly weren't doing it for money. They were clearly just doing it for like followers. And then people would be in these videos and shout out their Instagrams and get like 10,000 followers, and they would think they were like famous or something, and then they'd get like 100 likes per picture anyway. So it was all for nothing. And most of the questions were stuff like, bait out the biggest sket, which is basically British for who is the biggest slut that you know. And they would literally say names of girls that they knew from school. Whether they were sluts or not, whatever that means, they would just, if they disliked a girl, they would say her name and be like, oh, she did this and this to me and my friend last Sunday. It was just this big, like, essentially bullying scheme for just people arguing. And some people make up stories. Most of the stories were made up, but the names were real most of the time. So then that would create drama during the week. So Monday to Friday, people were arguing about who said whose name, and then on the weekend people would say more names and it would cause more drama. And that was basically the culture of British YouTube. Some people knew Zoella, some people knew Marcus Butler. I knew baiting out skets. And actually a lot of people from my school end up in these videos, which is really interesting to see now. They were the OG YouTubers. I'm not the OG YouTuber from my school. Anyway, he was actually taking part in a lot of these videos because that's the kind of content that these people like to take part in. And I feel like I love seeing Americans cover this story because there is all that context missing from like how these clout goblins begin in the UK. There's just a specific sector of people that just are all about the clout. Content isn't monetizable, it isn't marketable, it isn't brandable, but it gets you followers, and that's really all these people care about. So Mizzy would take part in these, and when that trend fell off, like no one really cared about it anymore because we weren't 15-year-old children anymore. Like that wasn't funny, it wasn't interesting, it wasn't captivating, it was just kind of shit. People moved on to other things, and so did Mizzy. And where do you go? Realistically, like what's the pipeline from baiting out skets to what? Like, what's the pipeline? Where do we go from here? Of course, it's public pranks. Of course it's public pranks. The best content on earth. It's what literally fixes society. Like, we need public pranks to thrive as a society. It makes us better human beings. It really just contributes a lot. I think it's basically charity work if you do public pranks. I hope all my Americans are catching the sarcasm. This is a very British story, so I need to keep it British. But I hope we're all catching my sarcasm. I think public pranks suck. It is the lamest content that you can make. Like, you're a loser if you make public pranks, or like fake pranks, or pranks on anyone that isn't happy to be pranked by you. So that's my opinion on pranks. Let's go over some of these pranks that Mizzy has done. And I was taking a shower and I was thinking about today's content, and I was thinking, like, how can I make this interesting? Let me rank them from like least bad to the most bad public prank that he's done. And I couldn't, because I would put myself in the shoes of the people that were being pranked and think, oh, that's awful. That sucks. Oh, I would also hate for that too. And it was just getting worse and worse. And every time I put myself in the shoes of the person that was getting pranked, I was like, oh, I would not want that to happen to me either. Whoa. You know, so I've actually ditched the idea of ranking them because they're all just bad. So let's go. His whole thing at the beginning was taking his bike into places where you're not allowed to take your bike into, like actually not carry the bike like next to him. He would ride the bike into McDonald's. He would ride the bike into different shops.
Thank you. Thank you. Mizzy. Hi, boss. Coming through, boss. What's wrong? What? What? I can't ride it in here. Oh shit.
So you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to ride your bike through private spaces, shops, etc. That seemed harmless enough. Like, it's annoying, it pisses off the employees, but compared to all the other ones, I guess that is the lowest ranking one. Here we have it, lowest ranking. He would ride his bike through stuff and annoy security, and then would get banned from these different places. He also had a meet and greet in one of these shops. I'm pretty sure it was JD, but I can't quite decipher from the video. And his fans are the same clout goblins as him, except without the clout, so just goblins. And they would like throw all the clothes around. There was just clothes all over the floor, just stealing, you know, the whole thing. So clearly it's like, that's the audience he attracts because that's the kind of person he is.
No! You know the patterns, you know the vibes.
Then after that, he would go into like the back rooms of shops without people's permission and film in the back. And obviously, once again, it annoys employees who are probably working for minimum wage, and they just do not have the energy to kick you out. So then what do they have to do? They have to call the police. They have to strain an already underfunded system in the UK, because we literally, like, it's like a common known fact now that in the UK, mainly London, because it's so heavily populated, if you call the police or call the ambulance, let's say your house is getting robbed, chances are they're going to tell you to just wait, and that they'll try and send someone out within the next 2 to 3 hours. So like, if your house is actually getting robbed, don't even bother, just leave. Because self-defense is also kind of difficult in the UK. You're not allowed to like use weapons. There's a whole thing. So basically, there's already a strained system in the UK that doesn't work when it needs to work, and then you're putting more strain on the system because someone is deciding to be a clout goblin. That's the whole story in the London community. His next one up was assaulting Jewish people.
Quite bad. The fool was bad. I can't lie. I was laughing in it, yeah, but I've actually acknowledged and I thought about it, and it's actually bad. So can I hug you, come? Just no. Just like a respectful hug. No, I don't want it. You don't want it? Okay.
Stealing religious wear, touching them, being anti-Semitic, like the whole anti-Semitism is just like, I thought we would draw the line somewhere, but the line was not drawn anywhere. So he actually got arrested for that because it's assault. So, but obviously there's no consequences further than just being arrested or held for a few hours, and that's it. So there was no consequences. He just went on his goblin clout ways. The next one that he did, stealing a stranger's dog in a park.
Hello.
Hi.
You got a nice dog.
Sorry?
You got a nice dog.
She's lovely, she's family dog. Don't run away.
Big gang, whole lot of gangs. We outside. We outside. We outside. We're all gonna fucking dog. We outside every single time.
And that one really, because I can't even imagine, this is why I'm always on high alert when I'm walking Phoebe. She's small enough to be picked up and she's very cute. So I feel like she's a target. And I let her off leash because she has recall. And we go to a field where there's no other people, but sometimes there's other dogs and other people, so I have to be on high alert because I don't want her to get scared. I'm never listening to my headphones. I'm just like, I've just got them on for like the vibe, but then I always just turn whatever I'm listening to off because I'm so stressed out and like so panicked that someone's either gonna steal her or that she's gonna run off for some reason. She's gonna just decide to take off as if that's something she would want to do, or that another dog's gonna run up to us and attack us. Like, I'm just always on high alert. So I'm like, I don't even know what I would do. But that woman in the video looked so relaxed. She was an older lady with a small dog. She was just sitting on the bench. The dog was just walking around her, wasn't even running around. He comes in, picks up the dog and just starts running off. And he did claim that he brought the dog back.
He came back.
No, he's a nice dog, look.
Yeah, but
He likes me.
He does.
He does, that's
But
why he
you
didn't
gave
complain.
me a heart attack.
I'm sorry,
It's my
sorry.
grandson.
Yeah, just ran up, took a dog. I don't even know what I would do in that situation. Like I said, I'm always on high alert, but you're not allowed to carry anything for self-defense in the UK. I know in the US, people are always like, oh my God, women should carry around pepper spray. If you carry around pepper spray in the UK and use it, you're actually gonna be the one that's gonna get prosecuted, not the person that attacked you. So that's really, well, they're probably gonna get prosecuted as well, but you're gonna get also prosecuted for attacking someone and assaulting someone with a weapon. Because anything carried in the UK that could be used for attacking someone is considered a weapon. So pepper spray, anything really, we're not allowed to carry anything. So that lady had zero chance of getting her dog back in that situation, so he just ran off with her small dog. It was fantastic. And then, can you tell there's just like a lot here? And this is what I mean by like, would you guys be able to rank these? Because so far I'm just like, well, bad on bad and then more bad and then bad. Like, I can't, they're just all awful. And the thing is, if anyone did just one of these, I'd be like, oh, you're a dickhead. But doing all of them, just collecting them, I was gonna make a movie reference and I couldn't remember it because I don't watch Marvel, so whatever the reference is, collecting it like Infinity Stones, right? No, can you tell I'm not into Marvel? The last one, no, the second to last one. He would walk up to people, sometimes men, a lot of the times women that were sitting on their own or with a female friend, and would ask them if they wanted to die. And try to touch them. There was a video of him approaching a woman to ask her if she wanted to die and was like touching her hair and like touching her without her consent and asking if she wanted to die.
What? I saw you from over there. I like your hair still. You got some nice hair. It's nice and luscious.
Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine. Would you wanna die? Huh? Why are you just smiling at me?
Oh.
I asked him a question, a serious question. Do you wanna die?
No.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because
Sure.
you still touching him.
Why?
Because,
You wanna die? You sure?
yeah.
I saw you from over there. You're just looking like you wanted to die.
When did we look at you?
Well, you was looking at me this whole time. Do you wanna die? Nah, bro. Bro. Do you wanna die, bro? Bro, don't even answer that right now. This is serious, bro. You trying to answer the phone? Who's calling you? They can wait. They can wait, bro. Then die, bro, because I can take it out right now, bro.
What's wrong?
Huh?
What's wrong?
I can take it out right now. Do you want to die? Yes or no? Half speak. I'm talking to you, bro. You don't want to die? Swad me then.
Is this where public pranks have gone? I mean, public pranks in themselves, cancer of the social media sphere. Like literally it's bottom of the barrel content. It's when you have no personality, no one likes you for anything constructive, anything productive to society. Bottom of the barrel content, you're like, how can I get clout without any effort, self-awareness, self-improvement? Oh right, public pranks. But like to do public pranks, like what we see, you know, whatever, jumping out, boo, aha, whatever, to this, do you want to die? Threatening people in the streets. Fantastic. And then the last one, which is what has now made rounds on the internet. You might have seen this on social media because a lot of people are talking about it. He came up to a house in London, like a terraced house, and he walks through the gate. The woman is kind of behind her gate, but not inside the house, and she has left the front door open, which she should be allowed to do. And she's sorting something out in the front garden area. And he just walks into her house and she starts panicking and she starts calling her husband and saying like, hey, there's someone at the front door. And he just waltzes into their house and her husband comes up the stairs and is like, get out, like what are you guys doing in the house? He then has the nerve, the audacity to go sit on his sofa and put his feet with his shoes on their like coffee table and just relax and looks so smug the whole time, looking into the camera, of course. Pretends he's there for a study group as an excuse for why he's walked into this house. And the guy says, we have kids here, like Lee, why are you here?
Into random houses, let's go.
James, come to the front door right now, please.
James.
James.
You man, come.
Hello, James.
We need to speak to James.
James.
Hi.
James.
Is this
Right,
where the
let's
study
go
group is?
No. What door number is this? No.
Study group.
5:30. Come on, it's a bit more, guys. Come on.
Wait, this is not where the study
Yeah,
group
we got
is.
kids, man.
Oh, you got kids? Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought this was the study group. I actually thought. And this is the study group.
And in that moment, I thought, wow, the guy really kept his composure because it could have ended badly. And I mean, we do have self-defense in the UK. Like, if someone breaks into your house, you are allowed to like defend yourself and defend your property. So in that moment, I'm just thinking, like, if I was on my own in the house, or if that woman was on her own in her house without her husband there, how out of the realm is it that in a panic she would grab a kitchen knife? Like, how out of, you know, or grab something heavy and throw it at his head? Like, how out of the realm of possibility is that? Because I think it's very probable that someone who maybe lives alone, if that had happened to them, would end up killing someone. Not because they want to, but because they were panicked, stressed out, you know? Like, I don't know. There is the aspect of like, this is obviously a shitty thing to do. But there's also an aspect of like, do you have any self-preservation skills? And then this story essentially made it out worldwide. It made it out of the UK, this little island. It made it out onto the world, and Americans started talking about it, and they made a very good point that this prank just wouldn't have happened in America because America allows guns, and a lot of people have guns at home. And if someone breaks into your house, even if it's a prank, even if your front door was open and they walked into your house, chances are someone would grab for their gun because they would think that they're getting robbed. And this just wouldn't happen in America. And the thing is, I don't want guns in the UK at all. Keep your guns over there. But it is an interesting point that if you were given that weapon or that chance to grab for something, you would probably do it. Just like I said, if someone was close to the kitchen, was living on their own, if it was a vulnerable person, they would probably grab for whatever weapon they had near them. And it could have ended in a tragedy for everyone involved. That person would have to go to court, live with the trauma of having to kill someone, and then he would be dead or severely injured. And it's just like awful for everyone involved, right? And then the families are involved in the whole thing. Like, what is actually the point of this? I don't get it. Obviously clout, obviously views, obviously attention, obviously all of that stuff. But like, is it any self-preservation skills? Give any. Anyway, he then posts like an apology video, I guess, where he goes back and apologizes to the people. I think just leave them alone. Like, I don't think they care about the apology. But then he films a video about how everyone is talking about him and he's so famous, and even Elon Musk is talking about him.
Hey, Missy, what we doing, man?
Bro, we walking at this point. We were just walking, bro. So basically, we went to go apologize to the people.
Yeah.
I know you guys have seen the video in the world.
We didn't have to say what video. You
You
might
don't
already
need
know.
to say what video, bro. It's everywhere in the world right now. Elon Musk reposted it, bro. It's mad.
Elon Musk.
Elon. So basically now, today we've just come from apologizing to the woman and that. You're gonna see the video probably. She's gonna post it somewhere, obviously.
Yeah, she was recording
the video
the
got
whole
stupidly
situation.
viral. We literally bopped into the yard. I don't really walk into random houses. You remember from last year, I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Don't do that anymore. So his guy was just like, yeah, come, let's bop into the yard. I'm just like, fuck it. Say nothing. You only live
Come, we're outside,
We're
bro.
outside, bro. So we've done it now. 2-2s now. She's calling James. Whatever. James was so calm. Like, James was the
Even when we
calmest person, bro.
apologise, like this guy's been confront the whole situation.
It's usually the woman. It's always women that have to just get angry. Obviously, I don't condone that. It was actually a bad thing to do. Like, I do stupid shit. So at the end of the day, that's what I do. Like, you guys are getting hurt for something you're seeing on the internet. But did I walk into your house? If I walked into
Exactly.
your house,
Why are
you
you
can
guys
do
all
whatever you want.
affected,
That's
bro?
you.
That's you.
I didn't walk into your house, so you can feel hurt. Comment on the internet. You're just bringing me engagement. I'm almost at 100k on IG. Oh,
Literally, bro, we're going viral. We got people staring at us, approaching us. So you man keep hating. I love the hate. Get me? But anyway, yeah, bro, it's just a mad thing. Everyone knows us.
No.
Hey, Missy, show them the mask. We can't, bro. We have to walk around with a white face mask. That's how serious this is. But obviously, you man like the TikTok, comment. We outside, innit?
Which, like, is it that difficult to get Elon Musk to comment on something? That man has no full-time job. Back in the day, he used to do the whole Tesla thing. Now that he's the Twitter of CEO, now that he's the CEO of Twitter, that man is jobless. He just stays replying to tweets every day. I could scroll on that like little For You bit on Twitter now, and it's just Elon Musk responding to random stuff. Sometimes very controversial things. So is it really that difficult to get Elon Musk to respond to your situation? Because that man just scrolls and types. He's so chronically online right now. So yeah, Elon Musk commented on it. A lot of people commented on it. He's very happy about it. He claims that he's going to be going on the Piers Morgan show to do an interview about it. Piers Morgan is also a very controversial figure in the UK.
Lads, I need to go to the station to hand myself in. I'm going at 9:30. My solicitor called me. have to try to get this sorted out as soon as possible. We've got Piers Morgan at 8 o'clock tomorrow, so hopefully we get this banged out as soon as possible. I have to go court in the morning. It's all mad. Free up Mizzy. If you want to continue sharing my videos, let me know. I'm going to add you all to a group chat, and then I'm going to post all my videos on one thing, and you man just share them everywhere.
But Piers Morgan is very strict with stuff like this, so I feel like he would get called out by him, but like, I don't think that's what he cares about. He doesn't care if he gets called out. He just cares if he keeps on getting platformed. So I hope he's not actually doing a Piers Morgan interview, because that would kind of suck. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about what's come out of the UK right now, and like with everything going on already, economic crisis, like I said, not enough police, hospital workers not getting paid enough, so ambulances are not being funded. The whole thing, the whole system's falling apart, and you're just adding to it, adding to the stress. If you got injured, an ambulance would have to come. Police would have to come, we really don't have enough of that. They could be doing something more productive. Like really, is this what we need to be doing right now? People are so stressed out. And that's just what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I hope I didn't ruin your day, because that ruined mine. I was just scrolling on Twitter and I was like, oh God. Oh, last fact, fun fact. He was getting looked for by the police. There was like a search warrant out for him. I mean, were they actually gonna put any effort into that? Probably not, because like I said, they're doing other things. At the end of the day, a prank is pretty low on their like scale of what they're doing, what they're prioritizing. But he did hand himself in for clout once again. His friend was like filming the whole thing, and they thought it was a massive joke that he was handing himself into the police, because there's no consequences in the UK, so he'll literally get detained for like a day and then get released with not even probably a warning. They're just gonna be like, right, get out. We don't have enough space for you. Go.
Mizzy. We're up in the big man them. Free Mizzy. Free Mizzy, bro. Free Mizzy. Free Mizzy. Free Mizzy, bro. Free Mizzy, bro. Free Mizzy, bro. Last statement.
We outside. Share the message.
Share the message.
Do I think he needs to go to prison for this? No, but I think there should be some kind of a fine, maybe even community service. But none of that is going to happen, because for that, they would actually need to spend the time to go through some kind of a trial to get him the community service, and they're just not going to do that because it's a waste of resources. So it's going to be absolutely no consequences for him, which is great. But he did hand himself in. The Independent wrote about it, and the exclusive statement that he gave was, I'm a black male doing these things, and that's why there's such an uproar on the internet. That's all he had to say about that, and I'm not even going to comment. Subscribe to the bell icon for engagement, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.